Heel veel welcome to our film channel DoopTube. They'll be doing part 7 of what the Walking Dead characters did before the apocalypse began. They'll be talking about all the characters that got introduced in season 7 and what they did before the apocalypse began. Starting off with King Ezekiel. Ezekiel was as a child in the theater and was kind of a child actor, as we know. He eventually grew up to become a zookeeper, where he met Shiva. Next is Jerry. Well, sadly we don't know anything about Jerry. Maybe he had a family, maybe not, but they eventually got killed. Next is Benjamin. Benjamin grew up in Washington with his little brother, Henry. He also had a dad and probably also a mother, but the mother died really soon. His dad was also killed by something, I think walkers. He was most likely still in high school when the outbreak began, and probably didn't even get to college. Next is his little brother Henry, who probably went to elementary school and lived somewhere in Washington with his father and brother Benjamin. Next is Richard. Richard lived in Washington and he was a real family man. He had a wife and a daughter named Katie, but they all got killed by walkers, I think. Next is Daniel. About Daniel is nothing known other than that he may have lived in Washington. Next is Diana. The only thing we know about Diana is that she had a sister and that she lived somewhere in Washington, I think. Next is a rat, or Awa. How you pronounce her name, I'm not sure, but I would just call her a rat. A rat lived somewhere in Washington. Next is Laura. It isn't really known what she did before the apocalypse, but she was a big badass and a big party girl, we think. So she was one of those popular girls in high school, I think. And yeah, so she went to high school and was probably also in college, but probably didn't finish it. Next is Gary. With Gary is nothing known other than that he lived in Washington. The same goes for his best friend David. Then there are Negan's wives, starting off with Taya. Taya was a possible chef, or just a good housewife, I think. And she lived somewhere in Washington. Amber had a mother before the apocalypse began, who probably got killed by walkers. She also had a boyfriend named Mark, who is still alive. That was the guy who got his face burned off in episode 7 from season 7. They eventually broke up because Amber was forced to become one of Negan's many wives. And now she's dealing with a lot of depression. And finally there's Frankie. Frankie was a therapist and lived somewhere in San Francisco. Next is Gordon. Gordon had a wife named Maria and probably lived somewhere in Washington, but not sure. Then there's Gavin. He lived in Washington as well as his troubling co-worker Jared. Then there's Fat Joseph. Joseph worked somewhere about the TV. He loved computers, cameras and other gadgets, so he played a lot with Scream things. Okay. Next is Dr. Emmett Carson. He is the brother of Harlan Carson. And Dr. Carson grew up with his brother in Virginia. Also studied with the same study as his brother. Eventually became a good world doctor. Next is Jadis. There's not much known about Jadis' life before the apocalypse began, but we're gonna find out more about it. Because we're gonna get some big backstory on Jadis, who is now known as Anne, I think. Not sure what her name was, but she is... I think she was good with art before the apocalypse began. and she lives somewhere in Virginia. Next is Nathania. Nathania has a strong bond with her daughter and her granddaughter Cindy, she lives somewhere in Washington. Then there's her granddaughter Cindy. Cindy had a brother and a mother who both got killed by walkers, I think. Although the brother probably got killed by the saviors. And she lives somewhere in Washington with her grandmother, Nathania. Then there's Beatrice. Beatrice lived somewhere around Washington with her friend Katie. Lastly, there's Rachel. Rachel was most likely in an elementary school and lived somewhere in Washington. So that was part 7 of what the Walking Dead characters did before the apocalypse began. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys next time.